The doctor told me that I should elevate the fiber content in my diet. Specifically, he suggested that I begin eating this new cereal called Fiber One. I don't know if any of you are familiar with this rather powerful piece of breakfast fare, this grim reaper of morning chow, this nuclear laxative in a box, but this stuff is unbelievably fiber-rich. It has 6 times more fiber than grape nuts and 3 times more fiber than raw twine, to give you an idea of the incredible fiber concentration. This stuff is unbelievable. It is one thing to be regular, ladies and gentlemen. It is another to be unstoppable. It's not as though I have nothing to do with my day. There should be a Surgeon General's warning on the box, don't eat unless retired. There's no way to remain a productive citizen of society. And there should be a picture of Tony the Tiger squatting.
Remember Dennis Wolfberg? Dennis Wolfberg was one of the great unheralded comics of his time.
Never heard of him.
You never heard of Dennis Wolfberg?
He
died in 94. He had melanoma. He was 48 years old, but he was absolutely on the rise. He had like the half-hour comedy hour special. He did a ton of Carsons, and he was one of my favorite comics back in the day, and died young. Married to a female comic named Jeannie McBride. But he was on the old Quantum Leap. He was really
I probably saw him on there. I watched a lot of Quantum Leap.
He's the guy whose eyes would bug out when he would. Listening to him doesn't really do him fully justice. If you go on YouTube and search old Dennis Wolfberg, like Carson segments and stuff, he's hilarious. With the clip of him talking about cereals, because I've kind of gotten back on the cereal train. You know, I used to live on cereal, but I'm like, well, it's a lot of just empty whatever, and I don't drink that much milk. Only time I ever have milk.
Okay, I do recognize him.
Yeah.
I probably saw him on Evening at the Improv because I watched that show so much.
Guarantee he was on there. But early 90s, he was blown up, and then he died young-ish. But the FDA just dropped 7 cereals that are in your healthy cereal aisle that they cannot qualify as healthy. Based on the fact that they have a lot of added sugar. And that's the thing with cereal. That's kind of why I stopped. You know, I grew up in a house where we didn't get sugar. So when we would have cereal, it was plain shredded wheat or grape nuts. We might as well have had barn hay with milk.
Ugh, right, dude.
Even granola has sugar in it. So my mom would be like, not granola. A lot of sugar in granola. I go, yeah, that's why it tastes good.
Give me the sugar.
So like when I'd stay over at a friend's house and we'd be having Cap'n Crunch or cocoa wheats even in the wintertime, I was in heaven. And my mom wasn't going to freak out about that. She wasn't like, when you go over there, she's like, look, that's their house. Do whatever,
But just know you're coming home to twine.
To barn hay. Raisin Bran is on there. They can't qualify it as healthy. Has too much. These are all because of added sugar.
Yeah, Raisin Bran's a sweet cereal.
Corn Flakes. I mean, you can look at a flake in Raisin Bran and see sugar in the raisins.
Mm-hmm.
Honey Bunches of Oats, Frosted Mini Wheats, Life cereal. You know, Bill's a big Crispix guy.
Love Crispix.
I like a Cinnamon Life, too, though.
Is Crispix on the list?
Real good.
Crispix is not on the list. But I'll tell you what is on the list is Special K.
Oh,
and that's what I eat, Special K, red berries.
Red berries. Mm-hmm.
And I know it's not devoid of sugar, obviously, because I always have also a box of Fruity Pebbles with marshmallows.
I love Fruity Pebbles.
So that's all sugar. Like on a Saturday morning, I'll have a giant mixing bowl. I'll just pour out a box.
Into your face.
into my face. But so I'm kind of like, maybe I'll just get back off the cereal then.
There was, the first time I counted macros, it was such a high protein count that I bought like protein, kashi, organic.
Yeah.
It's like, first of all, it was like $17.
It's like eating gravel.
But it was like so hard to chew and so dense.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say this, I ate one bowl of that cereal and I was full 4 hours.
Right.
And I was like, man, the amount of fiber and the amount of protein in this cereal blew my mind because I'll have a bowl of cereal.
Honestly, if you want to get used to eating in the future, just eat that because that's all we're going to just basically have that Snowpiercer muck.
It was awful. It tasted horrible. It was like so you couldn't even barely crunch it. It was so dense. But I was full from like, ate it in the morning. I didn't eat again until dinner time. I was like, dang, I'm not even close to hungry after that. And that's supposed to be like all natural, all organic, all that kind of stuff.
But you're also right. Those things that are supposedly good for you, they're not cheap.
No, it was
like $20 a box.
Yeah, dude, it was crazy.
So,
but I got tired of cooking breakfast every morning. I was like, there's some days I will usually cook breakfast at least 4 out of 5 days, and I was like, man, sometimes I just want to have something easy, real quick.
Can't you just have that, but then add ham to it?
Ham, you're playing with your sodium levels there. I'd have to add like chicken sausage to it or something.
What if you had ham in your kashi?
That's what he's saying.
Oh,
he doesn't listen to the show.
He doesn't listen to the show, Bill.
No, I thought you said you cook breakfast, and
no,
he said, "What
ham
about
to the kashi?"
I thought
he
you said.
He said, "What if you add ham to the cereal?"
Yeah, mix it in.
Sorry,
stir it up.
Yeah,
it's all right.
I had ham for breakfast today. A good old ham steak.
Ham for breakfast.
2 over medium eggs.
Huh.
Hash browns.
Yeah.
Steak of ham. Some toast.
This is before you went and worked out?
After.
Okay.
I was going to say, that's not really pre-workout.
My pre-workout food is a rice cake with peanut butter and a cut-up apple.
Yeah! No, that's okay, too. I had a PB&J for lunch.
There you go.
It's pretty delicious. Morning. That's fantastic.
Man, that's such a...
Phil Hartman, every time you see him,
so sad.
I know.
Because here's the thing. He was incredibly funny, but I think we also missed him taking a turn into the dramatic. I think there was a role that he could have got. It could have been his Breaking Bad type thing where he did something very dramatic and knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
He did.
He had that kind of chops.
Sergeant Bilko.
House guest.
Jingle all the way.
Yeah. No,
he's a good dad in that, by the way.
He needed a
I
solid
stand by
lead.
my Arnold Schwarzenegger is a bad dad, and they try to make Phil Hartman the bad guy in that movie, but he's the better dad. He knows his kid. He's all prepared.
Schwarzenegger waits till the last minute.
Yeah, he sucks.
Yeah. Is it him and Sinbad?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. No, I remember I was still, I was in Kalamazoo, Michigan working, and somebody came down the hall, and they go, Phil Hartman just died. May of 98, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh my God, what? And then it comes out that his wife killed him and killed herself. I'm like, oh my God. They did that documentary like a year or so ago on HBO, I think.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Oh
I
God,
don't know
where
if I can
like
watch
they
it. It's too sad.
like his kid didn't want to be in the limelight. His kids are all grown now, and I think they reconnect with one of them.
Because that was, what, a year after Farley died, or less than a year?
It was very...
They were like bang,
yes.
bang. And,
Yep. Good pun.
I was like, ouch.
Yeah.
So to speak. But yeah, Phil Hartman. Terrible. Yeah, because news radio, and he did all that
News
stuff.
radio, all
Yeah.
the Simpsons voices.
Yep.
SNL, tons of movies. Just fantastic.
Hey, listen, speaking of cereal, and then I'll move on here, the Chubb Crunch.
Hey.
Back at Heinen's, I was in the one here across the street. They got a big old colon blow like pyramid of Chubb Crunch boxes, which to me just means we put more out.
Yeah.
It's not like they sell out of them. We just put more of them out. and
Hasta la vista, baby!
That's what the commercial is. They're saying hasta la vista to bad breakfasts with Chubb Crunch. But they make him look like Batman or something on the cover, or that his name is like a bat logo, or I don't get it.
it's that he's
Why?
He loves Batman.
Does he?
He was going through.
How do we know that?
Because he's talked about it a lot. He talked about how when he got hurt in college, he watched The Dark Knight Rises, and in The Dark Knight Rises, Batman's back gets broken.
Oh, that was
and
his
he has to go
inspiration.
through rehab, and he's like, you know what? If Batman, this fictional character that's a billionaire, can push himself to this limit and get healthy and save Gotham and the world, then I can make my knee healthy and run for touchdowns. And he did, and he's great. I love Nick Chubb. He's incredible.
Well, Mary does too.
My favorite.
Big into Nick Chubb. Proceeds go to benefit First Candle, which is a charity dedicated to fighting SIDS. And so it helps little kids. Now, whether or not little kids are allowed to eat Chubb Crunch, I don't know.
Okay,
But,
so it's not about fighting people named Sid.
No.
Because Sid's usually a bad guy name.
Toy Story.
Not Sid the Sloth.
Sid the Sloth
he's
from.
not a bad guy, but you wouldn't mind
He's
punching
lazy.
him. You wouldn't
He's a
mind.
sloth.
You
He's
wouldn't mind giving
lazy.
just a little oomph.
I like him.
And
Ugh,
pull
he's
himself
so
up by
annoying.
his claw straps. And,
Doesn't anybody love me?
is that Leguizamo in those movies?
Yeah.
Ice Age?
No, is he? Is he Sid?
Or is Leguizamo is Sid the Sloth?
I
think.
didn't know that.
I think I don't know. I just know
That's why none of those
Dennis
guys-
Leary's a saber-toothed tiger.
Yeah, that's why
and
Leguizamo doesn't need to work
Ray
that
Romano
much.
is woolly mammoth, right?
Is that?
Hey, I'm in the Ice Age.
Oh, my God.
It's cold.
It is John Leguizamo. Oh,
It's really cold here.
That's why Leguizamo doesn't care if he's working all
Yeah.
the time because he has Ice Age money now.
What?
Huh?
You had?
nothing.
You started saying something.
I didn't.
Oh.
Are you sure?
I think so.
So anyway,
It's so cold here. What were you gonna say, Mary?
Oh, we're in Ice Age together.
oh,
Sid
God.
the Sloth.
I think she was better off pretending that she wasn't going to say anything.
Nobody loves me.
We know you're
They left.
annoying. You're
They
a bad
left
guy,
without
Sid.
me.
Yeah.
They do this every year.
You think no one loves you? Everybody hates me. Oh wait, no, it's Chris.
I forgot. I mixed
Alan,
them
do
up.
your Dennis Leary.
I don't have a Dennis Leary. What you? I'm so sorry. I
You
didn't
don't
work on
think
my Dennis
that's
Leary.
how we can really take this show to the next level? Is that we recreate Ice
Ice
Age?
Age?
I'll be Sid, Bill is Manny, and you have to be the tiger.
Can't I be the thing that's pushing the acorn around the whole time and doesn't talk?
He does it.
Yeah, I'll do that.
That's actually more
That's
Poundcake.
Cody.
I was gonna say that
Oh.
person really is petty. Doesn't he like rip like the acorn or something out of the ice and then it just
Yeah.
opens
No,
the-
he tries to bury it in the ice
oh okay.
because he's stupid.
Huh?
Damn bitch, okay.
Because he's stupid.
Go back to being Sid.
No, sudden infant death syndrome, SIDS, not people named Sid. So Chubb Crunch back at Heinz. I like their press release. We feel that Nick's values align closely with our values at Heinen's. What the hell does that mean? I know
You
it's
know
just.
They're
that
against
I know that's PR
babies
speak.
dying
but-
of SIDS.
Right. Our values are aligned. I love it. Well, he's a pillar of the community, right? How long has Nick Chubb been in Cleveland?
I think this is his 4th year here.
4th year.
Yeah.
He could be our next Josh Cribbs.
Hmm.
They ever have Crib Crunch?
No.
No.
Didn't he have a salsa or something?
What?
Crib death, SIDS.
Oh,
God. There you go. Yeah.
connection here.
Do those values align, Heinens? Come on, get on that. No, who was the guy that had the salsa? Didn't, I don't know, Oscar Velasquez or somebody had salsa here? One of the ball players.
I don't remember this also.
They got the Cam Hayward snack mix and, oh, come on. There was a Cleveland athlete that had, somebody will tell me.
Size
Cleveland.
more salsa.
What's that?
Size more salsa.
No, it doesn't go that far back.
I know. I went
Jose Ramirez salsa.
No,
What?
he's still here.
No, I know. I think it's J Ram salsa, isn't it?
I've never heard of that.
You haven't?
No.
Jose mild salsa? You never heard of that? All right, well, that's a few years old. Let me talk to Vaden Lewis here from the Toadies.
More than 6, but fewer than 10 minutes. With somebody on the phone.
Vaden Lewis is the longtime frontman for the Toadies, a band that I have dug for a long, long time. And tomorrow night they're in Cleveland. They're on the road, and they're playing the House of Blues tomorrow night. Hey, Vaden.
Alan, how you doing? I called a number that they gave me, and it went to your voicemail for the nighttime thing. So I just got this number sent to me, so I'm calling you now. I didn't know who I was talking to or anything. How you doing?
That's okay. How are you? Are you guys in Detroit?
I'm well. We are in Royal Oak.
We have listeners there. I can point them to the Royal Oak Show tonight.
Well, right on.
So you guys are finally getting around, through no fault of your own, obviously, with code and everything. You're finally getting around to doing the 25th anniversary.
Yeah, 27 years. We're doing the 25th anniversary, so
Right.
that's how it worked out.
How has it been? I mean, I imagine I always thought of you guys as being undervalued in the genre, as it were. Are you seeing that people feel the same way?
It's been really crazy, man. Like, a lot of people are coming out. I make a point to ask every night how many people it's their first time to see the band, and every night I'm shocked that it's at least half the crowd.
Yeah.
And so a lot of first timers, a lot of people bring in their There are kids, to see us, and pretty fantastic. I never imagined I would be at this point in a career where I would be asking if you brought your kids to a show.
Yeah, because, I mean, back in the day, the initial run for you guys was pretty short, right? You kind of split and then reformed and probably kind of had to get your sea legs again.
Well, the record came out in 94, and we toured all through the 90s too much. We put out a second record in 01, and that record came out, and then that's when the band kind of exploded on the road. It came apart. And so we took a break, got back together in about 07, and put out the next record, and we were shocked. I was thinking at that point, people have such short-term memories that we won't be anything. And we went out and had bigger crowds than when we had left in 01. So, and it's just kind of been growing ever since. It's really, really cool.
Well, and Possum Kingdom, still being on the radio 30 years later, I mean, that can't hurt. We'll play I Come From the Water every so often. And, so you guys are still in, when somebody says Toadies, it's not like people are entirely unfamiliar. There's been a thread of you guys for 30 years.
Yeah, thanks to people like you that are spinning it and keeping it going. We have pretty good rotation across the country, and also within the last couple of years, Possum Kingdom's been picked up on a ton of TV shows and streaming platforms and all kinds of stuff. So it's kind of having a second life, I guess.
Right. Was there a time along the way where you were kind of like, well, this might be it, or was it always in your head, I'm going to make this work, irrespective of who's with me or what I have to do?
Oh, well, when the band broke up, I was kind of fed up with a lot of the industry and had been personally bent over a few times by the industry, if you know what I mean. And so I thought, well, that's it. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm not going to do music. I'm going to do something else. And that lasted about 6 weeks, I think, before I lost my mind and had to go grab some guys and start playing music again.
Sure.
So I put together a band. Yeah, I put together a band called the Vaden Brothers, and we played. Actually played up here quite a bit. And put out 2 records, toured all over. And then the next record I was writing, it didn't sound like Vaden Brothers. It sounded like old school Toadies. And so I called the guys, and we all got back together, and it's been going ever since.
I just saw the Super Suckers here on Saturday night. They opened for Electric Six. And it occurred to me that I had not seen the Super Suckers since I saw them open for you guys when I was in Pittsburgh about 20 years ago. There was a club called Banana Joe's, and they had a huge,
right.
The front was kind of like a club thing. The back was this full-on music room, and it was Toadies and Super Suckers, and it couldn't have been more dissimilar between what was going on at the front of that club and what was going on where you guys were playing. And it was a lot more fun where you guys were playing.
Yeah, that was a fun tour.
A long time ago.
Hell yeah.
Toadies play here in Cleveland tomorrow night at the House of Blues, right around the corner from here, with the Reverend Horton Heat and Nashville Pussy. That is a trifecta, quite frankly. You're not going to do better tomorrow night than those 3 bands. People listening in Detroit, they're at the Royal Oak Music Theater tonight. They're going to be in Pittsburgh at Jurgles on Saturday for people listening there. And Vaden Lewis has been keeping the band front and center, damn the Torpedoes, and still out there doing it.
Well, thank you, man. Well, whoever comes out to the show will get to see Rubberneck top to bottom in order.
Nice.
And that's been a lot of fun to play. And then we've also in the time that this tour has been stalled, I've been writing and we've been working on new music. So we're gonna maybe pepper in a few new songs after the Rubberneck set into the other songs. So it's a little old, a little new, and all that good stuff.
Everybody will be happy, no matter what you throw them.
I sure hope so. That's the idea.
Awesome. Thank you, pal. I appreciate your time. Good luck out there.
Thank you, man. Bye-bye.
More than 6, but fewer than 10 minutes. With somebody on the phone.
There's Vaden Lewis from the Toadies. They are at the House of Blues tomorrow night with Reverend Horton Heat. I neglected to mention, too, they did drop a new EP, I think. I don't know if it's a full length. It's called Damn You All to Hell if you're a Toadies fan. They had new stuff about a month ago. I'm going to take a break here, the Poundcake Sports break after, and then I'll also hook you up with those Cavs tickets, too. The Knicks are going to be in town on the 30th of this month, and we'll put you at that game.
This is the Alan Cox Show. Everywhere on our